From ghost town resorts to deserted alpine buildings, these are 10 strange abandoned hotels around the world. Number 10. Divine Lorraine Hotel, Philadelphia. North Philadelphia, built and abandoned, the Divine Lorraine Hotel has been a landmark building of the city since 1894. It was luxurious and beautiful, a sight to behold. The hotel was one of the first high-rise buildings in all of Philadelphia, sitting pretty at 10 stories tall. Before 1948, the building was known as the Lorraine Apartments. Why the sudden change from apartments to a hotel? Well, Reverend Major Jealous Divine bought the property for $485,000 or $5 million in today's money. Who the hell was this guy and how did he have that kind of money, you ask? Well, apart from claiming he was actually God incarnate, the Reverend was a spiritual leader that created the International Peace Mission movement. He was also involved with racial issues at the time. All in all, he was a pretty interesting character in America's history, although kind of forgotten. The building was renamed as the Divine Lorraine Hotel, and it was the first business of its kind to be fully racially integrated, and even had a public floor that was dedicated as a place of worship. The hotel was open until 1999. That is when this beautiful building transformed into a placeholder for local graffiti artists and a great place to break into if you were homeless for the night. So, where are we now? Surprisingly, the complex was successfully renovated. You can get yourself a one-bedroom apartment starting at $1,500 a month. It's nice to see that sometimes a historical building can be used to its full capacity again. Number 9. The Coopre Resort, Croatia. When you hear of the magical Dalmatian coast in Dubrovnik, I bet you don't imagine this. Yet, here we are. A little ways down the road from the city center of Dubrovnik, you will find what is known as the Coopre Resort. The 3 main hotels in the resort, the Grand Hotel, the Pellegrin, and Coopre, were the victim of the War of Independence. A grim reminder of what used to be. This resort is also known as the Bay of Abandoned Hotels. The location has been in a standstill for the past 20 years. From the looks of it, you're free to explore the buildings, or at least you won't be chased around by 20 security guards. Plus, there is some prime beach space for all of us that like to get a little bit of sun. Just to give you some perspective on how big these hotels are, they could accommodate around 3,000 people, and now that's a party. It's sad to say the Coopre Resort will probably never return to its former glory, but it will be a place for tourists to explore until the buildings totally crumble. Number 8. Bad Gastein, Austria. Some conflicting stories on this one. A lot of people describe this majestic alpine village as a great resort to visit. Others believe that the handful of abandoned hotels and sanatoriums are an eyesore, not deserving of their money. Bad Gastein was once one of the most popular spots for a winter holiday, but with the rise of nearby communities, tourism dwindled. Hotels like the Grand Straubinger and Badeschloss have been shut down for good. The local community is pretty mad about the situation. A big company purchased 4 failing hotels with the promise of renovation, but they never followed through with their plans. Number 7. Bokor Palace, Cambodia. A remnant of colonial times, the Bokor Palace was a great spot for French citizens to visit while traveling Southeast Asia. Built in the 1920s, the palace had a hotel, casino, church, and a royal residence. Neat. The French abandoned the location in the First Indochina War. Some 20 years later, the palace was reopened. More buildings were added, including the aforementioned casino. The resort was again unsuccessful though. In 1972, it was taken over by the Khmer Rouge. So what's going on here today? Not much at all. A company bought the property, they're supposed to be renovating it, but the process has been very slow. Number 6. Dukor Hotel, Liberia. The Coopre Hotel was a 5-star hotel, one of only few in all of Africa at the time of its construction. The hotel was shut down weeks before the start of the First Liberian Civil War in 1989. As with any civil war, buildings were destroyed, looted, and abandoned. The Coopre Hotel was no exception. For many years, the once beautiful place that was used by politicians and businessmen was filled with squatters. It wasn't until 2007 that the squatting problem was kind of taken care of. In 2008, there was talks and hopes of renovation. The Libyan government undertook the project and started to clear up most of the property. But in 2011, Libya had its own little civil war problem. The Coopre Hotel is still desolate. Number 5. Hotel Sheraton, Cook Islands. Would you believe me if I told you this hotel was cursed from the very beginning? Well, that's how the official story goes. The hotel's builders had close ties to the mafia, and some locals claimed that the land they built the hotel on was illegally obtained. During the building ceremony, a man started chanting and yelling. Apparently, he cursed the project. And to be fair, the Hotel Sheraton Rarotonga never did open its doors. Could it have been a money laundering scheme or something else? After all, the project was abandoned, but only after most of the buildings were completed. You can visit the creepy location, if you dare. Number 4. Sanji UFO Houses, Taiwan. Well, we have reached another YouTube certified location. These UFO houses are featured on almost every top list video, so most of you have probably seen them before. Then again, there is a relevant XKCD comic for such things. As the comic states, for each thing that everyone knows about, there are 10,000 new people that learn about it each day. So a quick round of applause for all of you newcomers out there. Also referred to as the Pod City, the area was developed as a vacation resort near the coast of Tamsui. Even though the resort looks futuristic, construction actually began in 1978. Unfortunately, the only thing that remains of this ghost town of the future is pictures. All buildings were torn down by 2009. Number 3. The Lee Plaza Hotel, Michigan. Yet again, we visit Detroit, Michigan. The whole city has suffered greatly, and even though it has such a rich and vibrant history, many parts of the town lay in ruins. The Lee Plaza Hotel was finished in 1929. At first, it was used as a luxury apartment building. During the Great Depression, the building changed a few owners, each having a little bit of a different idea for the future of it. In the 50s and 60s, it became a not-so-fancy hotel, and by 1968, it was converted to an old folks' home. That didn't last long either. By 1997, the Lee Plaza was completely vacant and shut down. The city of Detroit has purchased the Lee Plaza. There are talks of renovations, but only time will tell. Number 2. The Hotel Belvedere, Croatia. Hey, we are back on the Dalmatian coast, aren't we? In the city of Dubrovnik, nonetheless. This time, we're looking at the remains of the luxury hotel Belvedere. Some of you might recognize it from the somewhat popular show, what's it called, Game of Thrones or something? I don't think anyone watches it, right? Just like the Coopre Resort, Hotel Belvedere was used as a shelter during the Croatian War of Independence. Both places were attacked by Serbian forces, and the damage was too much to recover from. In recent years, the location was purchased by a Russian billionaire that has some insane plans for it. Everything old will be demolished and a new, much smaller, exclusive, and luxurious resort will be built. So if you want to get your urban exploration on, you gotta go now. Number 1. Hotel Belvedere, Switzerland. No, I didn't mess up. It's just a coincidence that both these hotels are named Belvedere. Or is it? Well, the definition of the word is a building designed to have great scenic views. To tell you the truth, for the longest time, I just assumed it was a famous last name. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this quaint little building is located very close to the Rhone Glacier, in a place people call Furka Pass. Yet again, there are some conflicting stories to tell. Reading reviews of the hotel, it seems that it has been shut down for about 3 years or so. But there is a review from June 11th, 2017. So, which is it? Let's try and book a room to see what happens, shall we? No such luck. Maybe the rumors are true, and this hotel is abandoned. The surrounding area has suffered as well. I guess the glacier isn't as majestic as it once was, so tourism money has all but dried up. Check out the featured comment below, subscribe for more World Unearthed, and I'll see you in the next video.